Coming up on Cedar Valley today, Mercy Hospital is seeing updates sooner than expected. Wartburg creates a backup plan for its new phone and internet system. And one local business is selling cookies for a cause. This is Cedar Valley Today. Hello and welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Sam Sides. Mercy Hospital in Allwine is now able to celebrate their renovations made earlier this year. The project started in October 2015. It was expected to be done in 18 months, but finished after a year. New renovations include enclosed ambulance housing, 5 improved emergency rooms, a nurse's station, 2 private lab draw rooms, a more secure emergency department, and updated registration and reception areas. Citizens of Allwine were happy for the project and are also happy with the result.
Our goal was to create a safe environment, a confidential environment, and give the best care to our community in healthcare, and I think we did it. I think we have it here, and I'm very proud of our facility and our people that work here.
The project was worth $1.5 million and roughly 5,300 square feet of space were added. Main Street Suites in Cedar Falls is giving back to the families of Des Moines Police Sergeant Anthony Abimenio and Urbandale Police Officer Justin Martin. During the month of November, Main Street Suites will sell their Thin Blue Line cookies. All proceeds will be donated to Abimenio and Martin's families. Cookie orders can be done by phone or in person. The West High School Air Force Junior ROTC instructors and cadets earned an overall unit assessment score of exceeds expectations during their evaluation on October 26th. This is the highest rating and the first time that West High AFJROTC has earned this rating. The Air Force sends an inspector every 3 years, and the West High AFJROTC has earned the Distinguished Unit Award 3 years in a row. North Cedar Elementary School in Cedar Falls was the only elementary school chosen to be on the Iowa Governor's STEM Advisory Council. The council awarded 10 new STEM Best Partners. The program transforms K-12 classrooms to develop STEM education. Private funds are divided equally among the award winners to purchase equipment and provide teachers. Wartburg College is facing the aftermath of the September 22nd blackout through its phone and internet system. Wartburg's phone system took one of the hardest hits because the system is mostly over a wire system. Wartburg had to find new ways to tell students updates about classes and other news, with the new voice over internet system being down. Wartburg now has a backup plan set in place in case of a blackout happening again.
We do not have all of our phones on voice over IP at this point. Some of our phones are still landlines. And so as we continue to move those phones over to the voice over IP, we will continue to research the different opportunities and different options.
A fire started in the Den Rittersall kitchen on Wartburg College's campus yesterday. Nobody was injured, but most of the major pieces of equipment were damaged. Assistant Vice President of Dining Services Margaret Empey explains how the fire started.
Because there's a malfunction in the charbroiler, and so then what happened was a wire melted, and then it just couldn't contain itself, because as you know, there's grease on the equipment, and so that's how the fire started.
After the break, the Cedar Falls Library will host an art workshop this weekend.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
UNI art professor Islam Ali will feature an introduction to the book art workshop at the Cedar Falls Public Library this weekend. Participants will learn the history of folding, cutting, and transforming books into works of art. The library will provide books for this project. Registration for this workshop is required. On Sunday, the Wartburg College History Club and Phi Alpha Theta Honor Society will host their annual Arlington Cemetery Tour at 1 p.m. History professor Terry Lindell will share the forgotten history of Waverly. The tour begins at 1 p.m. There is a $5 admission charge, and reservations are required. Email tyler.amick@wartburg.edu to reserve a spot. The City of Waverly is accepting bids on the sale of a 1999 Fair 842 SI snowblower. A minimum bid of $4,750 is requested. Bid forms can be found on the city's website. Bids also need to be accompanied with a $500 security check. The bids will be accepted until 10 o'clock a.m. on Friday, November 18th, 2016. Bremer County Sheriff's Office is asking to locate the owner of a found dog. The dog is a brown and white male lab mix. It was located at the 1000 block of Yukon Avenue north of Sumner. It has a collar with 3 tags and a bell on it. The tags say 98, Jacobs, 63, and 331 on them. If you recognize this dog or know who the owners are, contact Ruddylin Veterinary Associates at 319-279-3867 or the Bremer County Sheriff's Office at 319-352-5400, option number 3. Next, we take a look at what's trending in the Cedar Valley. Stay with us.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well,
3 Wartburg Knights were named to the IIAC All-Conference Volleyball team yesterday. Aaron Jones was named the Iowa Conference MVP, and Claire Willenbring and Catherine Nasby were also named to the All-Conference team. The top-seeded Knights will start Iowa Conference tournament play tonight against either Central or Nebraska Wesleyan at the U.S. Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids. The game starts at 7:30. The Waterloo Blackhawks are celebrating Stress Awareness Day by allowing you to smash your pumpkins on camera. For $5 or a jar of peanut butter to be donated to the food bank, you can be in the video to be played at the game tonight. Smashers can also win prizes. It's also student weekend, so be sure to bring your student ID to the game for a discount. Cedar Valley Sportsplex is still taking registrations for Men's Basketball League. Games will be on Wednesday nights at local Waterloo schools starting November 16th. Registration deadline is November 9th, and you can register by stopping into the Sportsplex. We'll be right back after this. Waverly residents will be voting on a local option sales tax next week. Joining me this morning is Bill Warder, the Community Development Director for the City of Waverly. Talk a little bit more about it. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Sam.
So, first off, as I mentioned, the local option sales tax vote is coming up soon. What exactly will the people be voting on here?
They'll be voting on an extension of the sales tax that was actually voted in 2000. So this is not a new tax. This will be an extension of the existing tax.
All right. What does that extension entail exactly?
It's just a 20-year extension to allow the city to use it for future projects such as a street project, park project, more equipment for the fire department, police department.
So what are some of the pros and cons of leaving this in place?
Leaving it in place allows just under $1 million a year to be used for the city to upgrade city streets, city collector streets, to do projects that they would be able to do, wouldn't be able to do without without revenue source.
Cool. So how can citizens vote on the issue?
I think it's on the backside of the ballot, but it's just voting yes on that extension of that tax. Again, it's not a new tax; it's an extension of the existing.
That's coming up on election day?
On election day,
This
it's on the
Tuesday.
ballot. You bet.
Okay. So what has this done for the community in the past several years?
Well, it helped build the law center, helped build the fire station, variety of streets throughout the community, riverbank improvements, drainage improvements, dry run improvements. It's been $13.6 million will have been spent on projects around the community over this last 16 years.
So there seems to be a lot of speculation among some Waverly residents and a lot of division as to whether or not they should pass this or not. You've sort of made a case for it already, but what sort of case would you want to make to people who have their doubt?
Well, it continues to upgrade our streets. It's good for that purpose. Extending it for another 20 years will allow the city to plan out capital projects, such as the Cedar River Parkway, the extension and the completion, the bridge over the river. It could do other collector streets and other residential streets throughout.
So what would happen to revenue if it didn't pass?
Well, if it didn't pass, in 19 is when the revenue would stop, because the current tax extends through 2019. And it would just mean less money to use for street improvements, for road improvements, for those kinds of things that we've already been using it.
Great. Well, thanks so much for coming in once again.
Right.
Coming up on election day, get out and vote. Do it. We'll be right back after the break.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
The maker of Nutella wants the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to change its classification from a dessert topping to a spread, more like jam or honey. It's a bid by Ferrero to lower the serving size on its labels in the U.S. The current serving is 2 tablespoons, or 37 grams, equaling 200 calories. Ferrero thinks that a smaller serving size with fewer calories might make people a little more likely to grab a jar from the supermarket shelf. Ferrero argues people no longer use the spread as to make ice cream or fill cupcake and other desserts like they did in the 90s. Instead, it says the majority now use it on toast, so they're using smaller portions. The FDA is currently gathering information, asking Nutella customers to tell them how big their portions are. So here's a brief recap of today's top stories. The Mercy Hospital in Allwine sees updates a lot sooner than they expected to. Wartburg is making updates to its new phone and internet systems. Yay. And Cedar Falls Sweets is selling Blue Line cookies in honor of the fallen police officers in Des Moines. Thanks for watching Cedar Valley Today. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great day.